Hello, science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya. Do you ever wonder what it's like to be in the wonderful world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Let us hear from our SHEroes, experts, students, and aspiring STEM advocates about what it's like to be passionate about science and technology. Join us in today's episode as we discuss what is it like to be a STEM scholar. The concept of scholarship goes back to ancient civilizations. Back then, scholars are upheld as creditable figures of high social standing who are engaged in important work for society. In ancient Greece, scholars took up higher education that expanded their knowledge on philosophy, poetry, and history. Interestingly, the Greek word scholastes, from where the word scholar comes from, is literally translated to live with ease. And this is because during this time, only the children of nobility and the rich are able to afford an education. Interestingly also, scholars even back then were responsible for dissent, as traditionalists would often clash with them as they destroy traditional Athenian culture by shifting priorities from brute strength to mental prowess. Closer to home, in Joseon, Korea, from 1392 to 1910, those who knew how to read and write were designated as the chunin, or the middle people, in accordance with the Confucian system. Though not part of the royalty, the chunin, or the scholars, were the ones who administered the dynastic rule of the Joseon Empire, and they were treated with respect and authority. And here in the Philippines, scholars, or the ilustrados, were infamous during the Spanish colonial rule. They were the children of the middle class and were educated in Spain and was thus exposed to Spanish liberal and European nationalist ideas. They pushed for progressive concepts of equality and even freedom. Of course, scholarship for women came much later. It was only during the American occupation of the Philippines that women were admitted to professional courses in college. And since then, Filipinas have been breaking glass ceilings in the field of STEM and beyond. Over time, the word scholar has evolved in its meaning. In this day and age, when tertiary and postgraduate education has become very expensive, being a scholar is something to aspire for. The concept of scholarship now seeks to achieve some form of equity, to give a chance to brilliant minds to acquire higher education when otherwise they would have limited resources to do so. The acquisition of a scholarship is often competitive, as limited slots and limited funds are available dependent on the discipline you're vying for. In the Philippines, one of the most sought-after scholarships in the field of STEM is the Department of Science and Technology Scholarship. Students who wish to avail of this scholarship would have to take the Science and Technology Undergraduate Scholarships examination, commit to completing a STEM degree, and serve in the Philippines for a designated amount of time. The benefits include free tuition, a monthly stipend, and a yearly book allowance. You can also apply for additional funding for your thesis expenses. Considering that the cost of education in the Philippines ranges from $1,000 to $2,500 per year, and can balloon to upwards of $6,000 with allowance and other expenses, a scholarship certainly is a huge help. But what does it take to be a STEM scholar? To help answer this question, we are featuring two amazing SHEroes to talk about the ups and downs, the truths and fallacies, and the joys and pains of being a STEM scholar.
Hello, science fans! I am Marixel Caspe-Evardone, currently the Division Science Education Supervisor of DepEd Eastern Samar. I was a DOST SEI scholar. My field of studies focused on phytoremediation and ecology.
Hello, science fans! I'm Biena Joaquin, a molecular biologist in training, an MS Biology candidate from De La Salle University, and a DOST PicArt grade scholar. I'm currently working on the effects of the dietary administration of water hyacinth extracts to the immune response of juvenile mangrove crabs infected with white spot syndrome virus.
So first things first, out of all the disciplines they could pursue, I wonder what led them to the field of STEM.
It is when my then thesis advisor, Mr. Ray Thomas, explained how our thesis can be useful in fisheries management and that through science we can help our Filipino fishermen. That's when I realized I wanted to pursue a career in research. From there, he taught me almost everything I know, from lab skills to lab management to scientific writing.
Back in my elementary days, I was fascinated with the various investigatory setups in our science classes. The interest led me to seek answers to different scientific curiosities or problems observed within our school campus and locality. And then when it was time for college, I knew right away what course to pursue: biology. Fortunately, I got into the Philippine Normal University for my college education under a DOST scholarship. My passion for scientific research and hunger for new ideas and innovations deepened. The DOST Science Education Institute has been fundamental in my pursuit for a STEM career.
It really is fascinating to hear about the motivations that led people to the sciences. Back when I was young, I committed myself to science and technology when I decided to enroll in PSI, or Philippine Science High School. But going into this system meant tackling a whole new set of expectations and stereotypes. So I wonder what kinds of misconceptions our SHEroes have encountered as they went through their life as STEM scholars.
It has been wrongly perceived that science and math are male domains, and scientists are predominantly males. Also, it's a misconception that scientists are all about books and experiments, that they don't have time to enjoy movies or fun-filled drinking spree with friends and relatives. It's definitely not true in my case. It's a lot of fun working in the field of STEM as long as you embrace it wholeheartedly.
A common misconception among STEM scholars is that they are always available. No. Scholars should be enrolled with at least 9 to 12 units every semester. Scholars are expected to conduct experiments and meet deadlines. Not because we are full-time students, we have all the time in the world. We are also someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's daughter, or someone's wife.
Although stereotypes and expectations are challenges on their own, being a STEM scholar could mean more sacrifice. There would be many lonely days away from family. There would be exhausting nights of studying away from parties and adventures. So I wonder what kinds of challenges and sacrifices our SHEroes have had to go through in order to pursue their passion for STEM.
The difficult aspect of being a STEM scholar in the Philippines is being pressured to graduate on time. In my case, I should have finished my lab experiments and defended my thesis third quarter of 2020. But then COVID happens. I have accepted the fact that some things are beyond our control and graduate school is not a race.
Being a STEM scholar in the Philippines requires rigorous work ethics, ability to communicate ideas clearly, and think creatively. Working as a STEM scholar for years required tons of dedication and determination. I was trained to be thorough, organized, detail-oriented, and efficient in time and resource management.
Doing anything of value is certainly never easy, but it is worth all the blood, sweat, and tears. Being able to puzzle out explanations to natural phenomena, engaging in discourse with brilliant minds, and traveling to places I never thought I would are some of the most amazing aspects of being a scientist for me. But I wonder what could be the most fulfilling aspect of being a STEM scholar for Biena and Marixel.
The emotional thrill of being able to contribute novel ideas and knowledge to the scientific community. Having that opportunity to be a person who can discover something new, understand, explain, or prove some scientific concern or issue, being able to innovate something indispensable to science and education is 100% rewarding.
One of the fulfilling aspects of being a STEM scholar is that there are a lot of doors and windows that will open. A lot of opportunities will come your way. It may be in the form of training, conference, seminar, or internship. A lot of things that may help you advance not only your career but also your character.
The Philippines needs more scientists, and a lot of us would have to be scholars in order to achieve this. We need an army of STEM advocates to shape a future worthy of the next generation of Filipinos. So, let's hear one more time from our SHEroes about their message to young Filipinas who would like to go into the field of STEM and are considering to be scholars.
Somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. To my fellow Filipina science enthusiasts, never fear or be intimidated to pursue a career in the field of STEM. There are scholarships offered to those who are willing to contribute and dedicate their life to science. So seize every opportunity, may it be a scholarship, a grant, or collaboration projects. Don't fear difficult challenges because the most rewarding and fulfilling results usually come from them.
Explore the many scholarship options available. The Department of Science and Technology alone has multiple types of scholarships spanning many fields in STEM. When you do get in, be prepared to work hard. Studying will be your job now.
Thank you so much to our SHEroes for sharing with us your time, your experiences, and for helping empower young women in the field of STEM. It truly is amazing to learn what it's like to be a STEM scholar. And to our viewers, I hope you were able to learn something from our short video today. And if you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!